Hi there, Sherry Schreiber of GettingBetter.com. And I've really been reluctant to talk about borderline personality disorder in these videos. You've probably seen me mention it indirectly in some of these, but I've been really hesitant and reluctant to talk about it in these videos. I may start doing more of this, I'm not sure. Excuse me, the fiber optics on my head are intruding on my vision here today. But I really want to stress a certain point with you today, and that is that you cannot ever reinforce negative behavior in a borderline. You cannot reinforce it. You cannot reward it. You have to make absolutely certain you are not rewarding negative or bad behavior in these people. Whether it's your child or your parent or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whomever it is that's acting out with you and making you feel inside like, oh, here we go again. Or, oh, fuck, this is happening all over again. You can't reward it. Your tendency might be to reward it, especially if you've read very sympathetic literature on the internet about this disorder, saying, oh, these poor people have a mental illness, we're going to be kind to them and sweet to them, and yada yada. Doesn't fix anything, doesn't change anything, doesn't heal them, doesn't grow them, doesn't have any positive impact whatsoever. And besides, it's not a mental illness. It is a personality disorder that is predicated on pretty deep and severe wounding from infancy onward at the hands of their mothers. Cumulative wounding, subtle but cumulative, like 1,000 little cuts. It's not a mental illness. If it were a mental illness, these people would never recover. They'd have to be in treatment for the rest of their lives. And, well, in my experience, that just doesn't have to be true. So, no more rewarding bad behavior. There's an article on my website that's not about borderlines, but it's under the borderline personality disorder articles. And it's called How to Train Your Borderline. I can hear all of you gasping in the background because that sounds so fucking chauvinistic. Yeah, I get that. But that article isn't about your borderline. It's really about you. It's about your passivity. It's about the scared little boy or girl in you that's afraid to assert yourself for fear you might be abandoned or hated or disliked, or that you might make things worse between you and that supposed lover of yours, in whose graces you'd like to return and get comfortable again. Do not reward bad behavior. When your borderline boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or husband starts acting out with you, and you get that feeling inside your gut that says, who do I have to fuck to get off this movie? Really, how do I get out of this? Because, this is a familiar agony, and it's coming again. It's coming round the bend again for me. You don't just take yourself away passively. You assert yourself strongly and directly. And you raise your voice. I don't care if the kids are around or not. You raise your voice and you say, how you are speaking to me and how you're acting with me is unacceptable, and I'm not going to tolerate it. And you grab your car keys, and you grab your laptop and or your briefcase, and you head out the door, and you do not come home for the rest of the day or evening. You stay out all night long. You set yourself in a motel or a hotel. You set yourself up. Hopefully it's a place that has cable. So you can watch at least some decent television. But you do not pander to that acting out. You don't stand there for an hour and argue with them and fight with them and be cunty and sarcastic back with them, because they thrive on that. They live for that. It's activating to them. It's energizing to them. They love that. You're giving them attention. First of all, they're gleeful that they got to manipulate your emotions to this extent. And torque you up to where you're yelling and screaming at them. It's just enlivening to them. It's activating to them. They thrive on it. Breaks through their deadness, their non-feeling bubble, with all those parts of themselves they dissociated from since they were little. You know, kind of like the parts you dissociated from too. Your depression, your sense of worthlessness, your anger, your rage. So when you yell and scream at them, you get worked up. Oh, it's great fun for them. They like it. They may complain and bitch and moan about it. They may accuse you of being an angry person. You're an angry person. You're just an angry man. Well, yeah, because you've been stabbing me and jabbing me and lighting my fire all day long. So now you're going to get the full brunt of my rage. Shut up! How you are speaking to me is unacceptable, and I'm not gonna fucking tolerate it. And you're out the door. You leave them alone. What I've found is, this is the only thing that works. When you're in a relationship like this, the only thing that works to force them to change their behaviors. Doesn't fix them, doesn't heal them, doesn't grow them into their chronological age as adults. It just sets a healthy boundary. And it says, I'm not taking this shit from you. If you creep away, you tuck your tail between your legs, you just shut down on them. Not going to work. They kind of keep coming at you until they can get a rise out of you. Because that's what gets them off. So they're calling you names, they're insulting you, whatever. Being sarcastic and cunty and bitchy with you, whatever. You're not going to take it. There's no reason on God's green earth you have to absorb that shit from anybody. There is no excuse for abuse. And if you grew up, unfortunately, believing you deserved that shit, well, I feel sorry for you. So you got to jerk their choke chain real hard. Just as you would train an animal who's acting out and misbehaving. You got to jerk that choke chain real hard. Just to get their attention. And then you have to leave. You have to leave them alone with themselves. That's more torture than you can do to any borderline. Because when you're not around to beat up, they turn their rage and anger that they've been carrying lifelong toward people that had nothing to do with you, by the way, they turn it against themselves. Borderlines are full of self-loathing. They hate themselves. It's why they're so preoccupied with always trying to act and be perfect. They don't accept a myriad of facets and dimensions within themselves. So they don't accept those facets and dimensions within themselves. How are they going to accept yours? You do not reward bad behavior. When you stick around and you try and be sweet and loving and you try and give them presents to help them feel better about themselves and feel better about you, you are creating chaos, self-destruction, more drama, and decimation of the relationship. You're doing that. You're making your own passive little contributions to the chaos and drama in this relationship. You are. Just with your passivity. My article online under the borderline articles at gettingbetter.com talks about how to train your borderline. It has nothing to do with them. They're not even mentioned in the article. We're talking just about you. We're talking about the fact that you're not quite sure you have a set of testicles in your trousers. You certainly don't act like you do. So passivity is actually the kiss of death in these relationships with your impaired but significant other. And if you buy into all the shit you read online, God, on various websites, feel sorry for them, be gentle with them, be tender with them. That's fine. That if you want to do that, that's fine. But you may die an untimely death. Because you're absorbing all that dark, negative impact, all that rage. And you're not fighting back. You have no will to fight back. You have no desire to defend yourself. You have no self-worth. You don't respect yourself. And if you don't respect you, how in the world can you expect somebody else to? Ain't gonna happen, my dears. It's just not. So if you don't have enough self-worth, that you think you can assert yourself loud and clear and then head out the fucking door and have no contact, zero, with that person. I don't care if they text you and call you 800 times. I don't care. I don't care if they say, oh my God, the house is flooded, the house is burning down. I don't care. If you think there's a serious threat there, that the house is burning down or they're going to kill themselves, call the cops. Report it. Say, my partner has threatened to commit suicide, and I need you to go over there and check it out. Please. Or my wife just texted me that the house is burning down. And you call 911 and you say, there's a threat that my house is burning down, and could you please send a fire truck and check it out? You do not hit that ball back across the net. I don't care what happens. I don't care what they threaten. I don't care what they do. You do not hit that ball back across the net. You do not give them the attention they are seeking. Not in any way. I don't care whether they have their sister, brother, relative call you, text you. No reply. You stay out for 24 hours. Now, it's helpful to have a few changes of clothes in the trunk of your car, expressly for this purpose of staying out all night and being able to go to work the next day and have a different change of clothes. And maybe a little toiletry kit in the trunk of your car that you keep locked. But when you leave, there's no contact, zero. They don't know what you're doing. They don't know where you are. They don't know who you're with. Period. And they get to worry about that all night long when you're not lying in bed beside them. Does this seem like cruel and unusual punishment? Not really any crueler than what they've been doing while they're breaking your balls every single day since you got married to them. It's not crueler than that. You're just separating yourself from the abuse. That's all you're doing. If you don't have enough self-worth to do this, if you respect yourself not at all, you better find somebody you can work with to help you build those aspects in yourself so you don't keep trying to love somebody who's incapable of loving you back. I have a video online. I think it's the first one I posted when I started doing this stuff on YouTube. And it's called How to Find a Solid Therapeutic Fit. Listen to that. Get yourself straightened out so that you don't keep thinking that love means pain and pain means love. That's absurd. That's crazy. If you need this pain in order to feel aliveness, there's something really wrong inside you, dear. There's something really wrong. Get help. Get help to correct this. Really. Okay, that's it. Stop rewarding bad behavior. I speak to borderline disorder in some of my articles, and I use a nasty phrase. I say borderlines are attention whores. They are. It's a terrible phrase. It's wording I should not be using, but it accurately describes these desperate, despairing needs in the borderline to get the kind of attention from you that they either never got as infants and small children, or they got only negative, harsh, abusive attention instead. But to a small child, any kind of attention feels better than no attention at all. So you're going to cut off the attention. You're going to cut off the contact. You're not going to give this to them. Because if you give it to them, they keep acting out in order to get it. And you keep being miserable in your ongoing relationship. And that's just stupid. It's dumb. You don't want to do this. Read that article, How to Train Your Borderline. Educate yourself. This will be hard at first. It'll feel awkward, uncomfortable, etc., etc., etc. You've got to force yourself to do this anyway. Take yourself away from the drama, the chaos, the abuse. Take yourself away from it. You're not tolerating this for one more minute ever again. You're done with it. When you come home the next night from work, you walk in the door, and he or she starts haranguing you. Where were you? I was worried. You didn't even text me back. You wouldn't take my calls. What do? You don't explain yourself. You take a firm stand and you say, how you are speaking to me is unacceptable, and I'm not going to tolerate it. And you turn on your heel, and you walk out the fucking door all over again, and you stay out for another 12 hours to 18 hours with no contact whatsoever. Now, I've had people in my practice say, oh, God, if I did that, it would make things so much worse. And I say, honey, things can't get any worse than they are. They can't. This is as bad as it can get right now. What you're living can't get worse. It's as bad as it can be. And they inevitably come back to me a week later, and they go, you know, I was terrified to do this. I was really scared to follow your lead. But oh my God, I can't even believe what's happened in my household. I mean, I even got laid for the first time in 16 years. The other night, I can't even believe this has happened. She's being nice to me. She's being sweet to me. She's wanting to please me. This is like magic. Yeah. It's the only thing that works. Goodbye, good luck, and God bless.